Welcome back to Bass Pro Shops and, of course, to Bucket Blitz, all about raising money for the Salvation Army.
Yep, we are parked right along South Campbell Street near the Big Bass Pro Shops sign, so come drop a little something in the kettle.
Yeah.
Police Chief Paul Williams is here. He brought us a few bills, didn't you?
I did. In fact, you want me to drop a few in the kettle
why
right now?
don't you do
Little
that?
Step
That would
up
be
to the line.
helpful.
All right. This is what people should be doing, all right? All day, all night, come by. I tell you, this is the place to do it because Bass Pro's matching dollar for dollar, I understand, this week.
Yeah, up to 10,000.
So we ought to guarantee $20,000 for the Salvation Army.
That
right
would
here.
be great. Now, you've
great?
been a part of the work of the Salvation Army, helping raise money for, a number of years.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we were just talking about it before we went on camera. I mean, I've rung the bell. I've brought my family out. My wife and kids have done that in the past. Helped chair the campaign a couple years ago. So part of my volunteer efforts in the community, looking for those organizations that absolutely make a difference. And the Salvation Army is one of those that makes a difference in lives of so many people throughout the year.
When you and your officers are out on the street, day and night, I know that you really get a feel for the need that we have in this community. And it's
Sure.
not just when it's freezing cold outside.
You know, I think that's when people realize it, you know, extreme temperatures is when you really realize
Sure.
people that are out here, but it's throughout the year, and I think that's the important part about this campaign. You know, Salvation Army does it this time of year, you know, and get people in the Christmas spirit, maybe giving, but the money raised funds operations throughout the entire year during those times when maybe it's not the focal point of what we're looking at. So, and the officers see that all the time, and Salvation Army is a great partner for us to refer people to, take people to, and work with in making lives better for those folks that need it.
And I would assume you've seen your officers, yourself, you've seen it's helping people from all walks of life. It's not just a stereotypical image of someone.
Absolutely. I hate that image of, you know, it's only the homeless people.
Right.
It's people that are down in their luck, and that can happen to anybody at any time. And this is a resource. You know, they don't check financial statements. All right. They help pretty much anybody who comes in the door, and that's one thing I really like about them.
When you chaired the campaign a few years ago, what were some of the things you learned getting involved in all of this? I mean, obviously you're well schooled on all the things that the Salvation Army does, but were there takeaways that you got from being that involved in it?
I think, and I mentioned already, but I think the number one thing I realized was it's a year-long funding expense.
Takes a lot of money.
That's really the focus is raising money now. And you don't realize the extent and the efforts and the programs throughout the community. People think about just the Salvation Army, you know, and just the center, but it's day programs, it's Harbor House, it's providing food, it's providing housing, it's providing services, connecting people with programs to really help them get back on their feet. It's not about enabling someone to continue, you know, in that lifestyle if they want it. It's for those people that seek help, want help. They're there for them.
And what people are doing here and now is going to help every single day of the year to come. They don't take a day off at Salvation Army.
365 days a year. You know, the campaign, as I said, is focused now, but that's the number one takeaway. It's a 365-day-a-year program, and they need money to operate. And if it's not there, they've got to cut some services somewhere, and I absolutely don't want to see that later on this year.
Not in the types of services that they provide.
Right.
No, and it helps all of us, you know, those quality of life
Well,
issues.
sure it does.
Those people
Yeah.
that we come in contact with, the more people we can get connected to services and the Salvation Army can help, maybe people my folks aren't going to deal with on the street.
When you and your wife and kids went out to ring the bell, at first when you came home, had your wife done that before? Had your kids done it before? Was it a tough thing to get them to, we're going to do what, Dad? I mean, but it's fun.
You know how
Isn't it
kids
fun?
are, you know. And, and so the first time was like, we're going to do what? And then you kind of explain it. And, you know, they've walked by it before, you know, but we did it right out here in front of Bass Pro. We did it at Hy-Vee, you know, done a couple different places. And it got to the point where they were excited about going and doing it. You know, it's talking to people. It's getting engaged. It's getting them to give something maybe that when they weren't gonna.
Yeah.
And so it really helped them, I think, to see how people react. Because you see all kinds of people walking through when you're ringing a bell and you got the bucket out there and people coming by and their reaction. So been very beneficial to them that, you know, they learned something and volunteer on their own now.
Yep, and you can get involved as well. Chief Paul Williams, thank
you so much, Chief,
for joining us, and thank you for all of the work you do for our community and all of your officers. We really respect you for everything you do to keep us safe.
On behalf of all the men and women in Springfield Police Department, thank you for that.
Well,
Merry
we
Christmas.
appreciate you more
Merry
than you'll ever
Christmas.
know.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, good stuff out here at the Bucket Blitz. We always enjoy being here, especially when it's not raining, I'll be honest.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for that.
lot
Also,
better.
want to thank PFI, FFO Home, Reliable RV, Bruce Porter, Artistic Works by Lou, Brian Heavily, the Hughes brothers, Cammie Jenkins, who's freezing over at
Yep.
Battlefield Mall, Donna Scar Police Chief Paul Williams, the mayor, and all of you who have been here. Come out and donate.
It's good stuff. See you back at Bucket